What's going on, Moo Gang? It's your boy Walls P. Welcome to another episode of Matter of Opinion. And today we're talking about a tragic story about an 11-year-old that lost her life on her birthday. That 11-year-old, ladies and gentlemen, was Mialah Leak. Now, this story got the internet pissed off, number one, confused, definitely emotional, and a lot of folks are also arguing about the circumstances that took place, which we're going to get into later. Now, the way it breaks down is this little girl was put up for adoption back in around 2017 or 2018. Her biological mother, by the name of Jessica Mosley, who was having run-ins in and out of jail, drug problems, pretty much a troubling past, CPS wind up taking her children away from her, a set of twins, and one of them being Mialah Leak. Now, after reading the reports, those girls were adopted by, I'm assuming, a friend of the family by the name of Sherry Leak, a white woman in her 50s. Now, when the biological mother got her children taken from her, CPS gave ample time for her to make the right steps to show that she's turned her life around, that she pretty much has gainful employment, she has a stable living situation, and she completed a drug program to show that, she went through full rehabilitation. She failed to do those things. So she lost all parental rights, which is going to come back and bite her in the butt later on. Now, the adopted mother, she kept in contact with the biological family. She would go to events, family events, barbecues, all these different things. Pretty much the biological family saw these little girls. They were involved in the little girl's life. Fast forward to November 23rd, 2025, which was Mialah's birthday. Her and the adopted mother, Sherry, were having a disagreement. She started running amok. So what Sherry did was laid on top of her to get her to calm down. When she eventually got up, the little girl was unresponsive. She called 911, ambulance and authorities came. They tried to resuscitate her. She was pronounced unalived on the scene. Since then, Sherry has been arrested. She had her day in court. The biological mother was there at the court hearing, and the biological mother spoke to the news and gave her side of the story. Here's that clip.
The Fruitport Township girl, who police say was killed Sunday by her adopted mother, had turned 11 years old that day.
Today, the woman accused in her death was arraigned on a charge of manslaughter.
News 8's Ken Colker was in Muskegon County in the courtroom for today's hearing.
As a woman was in court today charged with sitting on her adopted 11-year-old daughter until the girl died, the girl's biological mother sat in the courtroom.
The victim's biological mom was there with other family members, hoping to learn more about what happened to young Mialah, a fifth grader at Shetler Elementary School.
She sat on my daughter, yes, on her 11th birthday over disagreement that she said they had, which is I don't understand because she's 11. What disagreement is you having it with my 11-year-old to the point where you need to sit on her?
Ms. Leak, I'm going to have you stand before the court.
55-year-old Sherry Leak was arraigned today on a charge of manslaughter in Mialah's death at the family's mobile home in Fruitport Township.
The information we have is that because she was trying to get the child to calm down, that she chose to sit on the child for a period of time, and that during that time period that she was sitting on the child lost consciousness. She attempted CPR, and that's when she called 911.
An 11-year-old female CPR before sitting stemming from an assault.
The biological mom, Jessica Mosley, who asked that we not show her face, says she gave up Mialah and Mialah's twin sister for adoption when she was 17. Prosecutors say that was in 2017 or 2018 through Children's Protective Services.
So I was in jail. I had went through a lot of stuff. It was just me and my sister.
But she says she had tried to get the girls back.
I never stopped trying, I never stopped trying. I did everything they asked me to do. I back and forth up here asking them. I got my house, I got my car, I got my job. He keeps telling me no possibility for me to get my kids. You know how hard that is. Every day.
She says she last saw the girls several months ago, running into them at a Walgreens. Other biological family members say they occasionally saw the twin sisters, including at family gatherings. Prosecutors say there were no open cases involving the girls through CPS. But after the death, CPS filed a petition to terminate Leak's parental rights of the twin sister, who was born with cerebral palsy.
She's cognitively impaired. She can't talk. She can't say anything. Anger wants to be there, but
God in us won't allow it.
Won't allow it. Nope, just want justice for Mialah and her sister, because now her sister has a loss. I mean, she was just the ideal child. I don't know what Sherry was going to make her react like that on that child, because Milah's character was sweet.
The woman is being held in the Mesquite County Jail on a $100,000 bond and is expected back in court next month to determine if she'll stand trial.
So you heard all the details. You heard the biological mother speak. Now, when it comes to Sherry, the adopted mother, she was wrong for what she did, sitting on that child till that child was basically incapacitated. Speaking as a parent, it seems to me that this is something that she has done in the past and it worked. Just so happened this go around, it didn't go in her favor and the child wound up losing their life. Especially when we live in an age where they really don't want you to discipline your child with the rod. Any little mark or scuff, even if you hit your child one time and there's a mark or a scuff, CPS is going to come knocking at your door. So a lot of parents look for other means to discipline a child. So I'll be the first to tell you, timeout doesn't always work. And I'm not trying to justify what she did. This just seems that this was an action that this woman has done in the past and it worked. Just so happened this go around, it didn't work. All of that is basically being handled by the proper authorities for her to pay the piper for what she did to the little girl. Now, as far as the biological mother go, I understand her pain and suffering. But at the end of the day, one can argue that this is basically your fault. People are probably saying, whoa, 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 how's this her fault? You directly had a hand in this situation. If you knew you weren't ready or mature enough to have a child, why would you go about the business of having the child? If that child was that important to you, you should have cleaned up your life the minute you saw you was having a child. That should have been your wake-up call. Now, if she would have lost her parental rights and gone into the sun and wasn't trying to win her child back and all this other stuff, you got me there, you washed your hands with the situation, 1,000%. But now you're trying to fight to get your child back, which I'm not going to hold you to that. You have every right to fight to get your child back once you get stuff in order. But the problem is things don't work on your time. And do you not understand how much confusion that can bring into the child's mind? Because if the child adjusted to the life changes of, this is my adopted parents, now the biological mother is trying to come back into the child's life and all this stuff, that can cause a lot of confusion within the child, resentment, and this is just my opinion on it. I believe that's what started the hostility in the household with Sherry and Mialah, because I believe they said she ran into them at Walmart or something like that because she was supposed to have no contact with the children, which is understandably so. You don't want the contact with the children so things like this don't happen, or it doesn't escalate the situation where that child now wants their parent back, even though that living situation is not conducive to the kids. So it can build a hostility. She had ample time when CPS took the children for her to get her life in order, stop going to jail, stop taking drugs, all of these things, and she failed to do those things. So since you failed to do those things, that means you're unfit to be a parent. And if this was a case of abuse, like they say, when Sherry was going to the biological family's functions and all these things, don't you think they would have said, hey, we see signs of abuse, and would have called CPS quick, fast, in a hurry? That's not what we saw here. So I believe the biological mother played a direct role in the disagreements going on with that adopted mother, Sherry, and Mialah. That's the only thing I could think of. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section. But I want to get to the big elephant in the room. The big elephant in the room that basically made this such a story is you have a white woman adopting black kids. And people are on there voicing their opinion about they don't agree with white people adopting black kids. Let me be the first to say to these people, if you're not actively seeking to adopt kids, take black kids out of foster homes, I don't care what you have to say. Your opinion doesn't matter, because when you look at the statistics, the people who are taking kids, black kids, out of foster homes at the highest rate are white people, white families. So why are you being mad at them for the job that we should be doing as a whole, the black community? If you're not doing it and somebody else is doing it, shut your mouth. Your opinion doesn't matter. You have no say in this matter. Now, do I understand there could be white people that adopt black kids and they have malicious intent? Absolutely. But we're not going to paint a broad brush saying that, hey, This happens in every situation. Do you know how many black parents, black mothers unalive their kids? Tired of parenting, need a break or whatever the case may be, unalive their kids. This isn't about race. This is about the character of the individual. Because I promise you, there are a lot of black kids who are adopted by white parents and they went on to live some of the best lives. I understand the history with slavery and the atrocious things that white folks did to black people, but we're in 2025. I promise you, there's a bunch of white folks that don't agree with the stereotypes of black folks. Character matters more than color. Intent definitely matters more than skin tone. And if you're not out here adopting these kids, rescuing these kids, and supporting these kids, maybe you should sit this one out, because the people who are stepping up, they actually deserve more credit than they're getting. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to hear your take on this matter. If it's your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell so that you could be notified for more content like this. That's gonna do it for this episode of Matter of Opinion. I'm your boy Walls P, and if you wanna check out our other content, click the card that just popped up. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
It's a matter of opinion.